Hey, we're back. Game 7, Philly versus Boston. Um, last video was about, the John Moran incident that happened 2 weeks ago. Obviously, it was the most dumbest thing they ever made for the second time. But we ain't talking about that at the end of the video. If you want to know what I talked about, no, watch my last video. Um, Game 7, Philly versus Boston. They were just one in game. I talked about Darby didn't fire. And again, he deserved getting fired because he's just not the greatest head coach when it comes to playing in the playoffs. He's a great head coach in the regular season, but when it comes to playing in the playoffs, he just ain't the greatest head coach. He's probably the worst head coach in NBA history when it comes to playing in the playoffs. I'll say right now, do you don't believe that Dowers is not the worst head coach in NBA playoff history? He's one of the best coaches. He one of the best coaches ever to play in the regular season because each season he's been with Phil, his win percentage have gone up, not down, up. But but when it's playoff time, he chokes. I mean, he's garbage. I mean, garbage is garbage, man. Like you seen this man, like he have had year after year opportunities to make noise in the playoffs with superstars. He had a chance to do with the Kawhi and Paul George. He didn't get it done. They both 3-1 lead to Denver. Then he had a chance to do with Embiid and Ben Simmons and the rest of the team. They didn't. He didn't do it. They got bounced about the hardwood. That should never even happen. And then the last 2 years, you add James Harden, you have Embiid, and then just what's happening here? I don't know what's happening. Like, you know why they lost to Miami? Because Embiid was injured for the first, I think, 2 or 3 games. You wanna know why? Because he left Embiid playing in that Raptors game 6 game in the first round when they were up by 30 points, and they would have 5 minutes to left play the game. But again, you're up by 30. You're up by 30. Take them out of the game, man. You don't want to risk injury, right? You trying to win a championship, but you leave him out there. He suffered a concussion to his face. So and then they lost the first 2 games, obviously to Miami, and then come back, and then they come back, then they win this, and then they win the next 2 games. But then they start struggling, and then they lose game 5, and games to go to Miami because again, Embiid was just not 100%. Even when he was playing for them 4 games, he still wasn't 100%. He was absolutely terrible. So I don't know what to tell you, man. And James Harden was obviously terrible. Then this season, I don't know what to start. And then Embiid is injured again, and then obviously Boston will take advantage of that. Well, Philly actually win game 1, but then Boston win game 2. Boston win game 3 when Embiid did their MVP, but then they win game 4. Game 5 will go to them. I don't know what to tell you. Yeah, I think we were talking about Doc Rivers and all that. Yeah. Again, worst coach in NBA playoff history. No shootout. Celtics move on. Play Miami. Obviously, we'll talk about that series. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the like button. Do the video, and also during that game, you don't remember Jayson Tatum had the best game 7 in NBA history. 51 points. Passing Steph Curry, who put up 50 point versus Sacramento over 3 weeks ago. No, he passed Steph Curry just 2 weeks later. Like, wow. And until somebody else 2 years later could put up a performance after Kevin Durant had 48 points in a game 7. And it took 2 years for somebody else to do that. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, give the video thumbs up. Night night.